Hey everyone, in this video we are going to solve the longest substring without repeating characters question on Leetcode. So we are given a string s and we have to return the longest substring that does not contain any duplicates, in which all the characters are unique. So in this particular example the output is 3 because the maximum string we can found without duplication was a, b and c. So this is the question. Let's see how we can do it. Okay, so we are given this string and we need to find the longest substring without repeating characters. The first approach that may come to our mind is to just get all the possible substring and keep checking if they are unique or not and get their max length. So we can start from A, we can get this substring, then from A to C, then A to A, we found a repetition, so we'll not take it and we'll calculate the max length till now. So it will be 3, and then next we'll move forward to B, then get all the substring from B until we found a repeat one and keep calculating the max length same as before. So this approach will work, but the time complexity for this one will be O of n cube, which is not good. So we'll be using another approach to solve this particular question, which is the sliding window method. So first let me write the index below all of these characters. For this one we'll be using two things. We'll keep track of our start index from where we are starting. Initially it will be 0. Next will be our last scene. It will be a map data structure, or you can call it a normal object literal in JavaScript, which we will store key value pairs of the character and the index we saw that character last. So we'll start from A. A is not present in our last scene object. So what we'll do, we'll add it with the key as A and value as its index 0. Next we'll move to B. B is also not there, and we'll add B as well with index 1. Till now our max length is 2. Let me write here, our max length till now is 2. Next we see, next we come to C. C is also not present in our last scene, so we'll add C with index 2 here and update the max length till now 3, the length of A, B and C. Now we come to A. Now when we found a character that is already present in our last scene, that means we have found a duplication. So now we need to update our start index. To update our start index, we'll use a formula. So which is the maximum of the last scene of that particular element. So last scene of asset I plus 1 or the previous start index. Comparing it previous start index because let's say we come to C and then we found another C, so we don't want to start from A here. We need to keep moving forward. We don't want to check the previous characters which we have already checked. So applying this and moving forward, so we have seen A, and when A comes, yes, we have found it here, and the max length will be this time asset I. A at last scene of A is 0, so 0 plus 1 or the previous value of 0, previous value of start, which is also 0, so it will become 1. Last scene will be updated to 1 and will update the value of A in our last scene object as well. So A will become 3. The index of A, new index of A is 3. Next come B. B is also present in our last scene object, and so what we'll do, we'll apply the same formula again. So max of last scene of B was 1, so 1 plus 1 or already 1. So last scene start index will now become 2, and we'll update the last scene of B. So instead of 1, B will become now 4. Now we come to C. C is already present in our last scene object, so we'll apply the same thing here as well. So max of last scene of C, which was 2, plus 1 or the previous one, which is 2. So the answer will be 3. Start will be updated from 2 to 3. Until now we have not found any character which whose length is greater than 3. I've visited this a, b and c, and still its length was 3, so we'll not update the max length till now. Next we'll move forward and we get to b. B is still available in our last scene, and b is 4. So this time if we calculate the max, so the max will be 4 plus 1 or the previous last scene, which was 3. So 4 plus 1, it will be 5 or 3. So the max will become 5. Will be starting from here. Okay. Next we'll again come to next we again saw a b. It is again available, and we'll update the same formula. So max of this time it will be, oh, I forgot to update the last scene of b, so it will become 6. So yeah, now it will be the last scene of b. 6 plus 1 or the previous start index, which is 5, it will become 7. We'll start from 7. Until now we have not found any character which was greater max length than 3, so we'll return 3 the answer, as we have traversed to the whole string and we found 3 with the max length. So if it is still not clear, it will become more clear once I write the code. The time complexity for this one will be O of n, since we are traversing through all the characters, and space complexity, it will also be O of n, since we are storing all the characters in our dictionary. So this is the drawing explanation. Let's see how we can do it in code. Okay, so first let's declare our variables. So const last scene, we'll be using map data structure, or you can use a normal JavaScript object literal as well. Map will just handle all the edge cases for us. Then our start index, so initially it will be 0. Next our max length, which will be returning as output. Initially it will also be 0. Then we'll write a for loop. So for let I equals 0, I is less than s dot length and I plus plus. And at each iteration we'll keep updating the last scene. So last scene dot set of s at I, so we'll updating the last scene of character at I index in string s, and the updated value will be index I. And at each iteration we'll keep calculating the max length. So max length will be math.max I minus the index which we are currently at, the starting point from which we start checking if it was a unique character or not, and adding 1 to it, or the previous max length which we have before, the max length we found before. Okay, now the case which we need to handle is, what if we found a character that is already available in a last scene data structure. So last scene dot has s at I. If this condition is true, what we'll do, we'll update the value of start using math.max last scene dot get s at I, so the last scene of character at index I, plus 1 or the previous start index, whichever one is maximum. And at the end of this for loop we'll just return the max length variable. So this is the code. If we run this, yeah, okay, so I use the wrong brackets here, square brackets, so I have to use wrong brackets here. So okay, so my bad. If I run this code again, it's working. Let's submit it. Cool. So that was it for this video. Thank you for watching.